Welcome to the Scenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Have you ever had those mornings, you wake up, you technically got enough sleep, but you just feel drained, mentally foggy, maybe a bit flat emotionally, and you can't quite put your finger on why?
Oh, absolutely. It's such a common feeling these days with everything going on.
It really is. And that's why today we're doing a deep dive into something that might just be a key part of the solution, but often gets overlooked. We're talking about magnesium malate.
That's right. And what we want to do today is really unpack that, look at what it is, how it works, who it might be best for, and the practical stuff, how to actually use it. All based on the research and info we've gathered. The goal is to give you a really clear picture of its potential.
Okay, great. So let's peel back the layers then. Magnesium malate. It sounds like two separate things combined. What exactly is it?
It is, yeah. It's a compound. You take magnesium, the mineral, and you bond it with malic acid.
Malic acid, that sounds familiar. Isn't that in fruit?
Exactly, like in apples, other fruits. And the really interesting part here is that malic acid isn't just, tagging along. It plays a direct role in something called the Krebs cycle.
Ah, okay, the energy cycle of our cells.
Precisely. It's your body's main engine for generating energy, deep down in the mitochondria. And honestly, we often forget to look at this fundamental energy process when we feel mentally wiped out. We think sleep, stress, but not always the engine itself.
So it's less about just a general boost and more about optimizing that core energy production, making the engine run better.
You got it. And then you've got the magnesium part. We know magnesium is crucial, right? Involved in over 300 processes in the body: energy, nerve function, muscle function, loads of things. So put them together, magnesium and malic acid, and you get this sort of powerhouse supplement. It's particularly good because it supports both the muscles and the nervous system. That gives it a unique edge for people dealing with, say, chronic stress, that persistent fatigue, or even those low-grade blues that just hang around.
That makes sense. But why? Why is this specific form, magnesium malate, so often highlighted for mental fatigue? Not just, being tired after a workout, but that brain fog kind of tired.
Yeah, good distinction. Mental fatigue is different. It's that sluggishness, the fog, feeling emotionally drained. Often it follows long periods of stress, maybe burnout, or what we might call subclinical depression.
Right.
Magnesium malate tackles this in a few key ways. First, like we touched on, it helps restore cellular energy. That malic acid directly boosts ATP production.
ATP, the energy molecule.
The very one, the fuel for your brain and body. Combine that with magnesium's role in mitochondria, and you get better energy generation overall. It really helps cut through that mental exhaustion.
So the malic acid is kind of fine-tuning the brain's energy factory, not just adding more fuel, but making it run more efficiently.
Well put, exactly. Second, it's huge for neurotransmitter balance. Magnesium is a cofactor, a helper molecule needed to make serotonin, dopamine, and GABA.
Ah, GABA, the calming one.
The calming one, yeah. And serotonin, dopamine, they're all vital for mood, for emotional resilience. If you're low in magnesium, it can directly impact that, leading to more irritability, low mood, maybe trouble sleeping too.
Okay, that makes sense.
And third, and this is quite unique to malate compared to some other forms, it helps reduce that physical tension that comes with stress.
You mean like tight shoulders, clenched jaw?
Precisely. That restlessness, the physical holding pattern of stress. Malate helps ease that, which not many other magnesiums are specifically noted for in the same way. It addresses both the mental and the physical side of stress fatigue.
That's really interesting. So mechanically, it seems to cover a lot of bases. But for someone listening, maybe nodding along thinking, that sounds like me,
Yeah.
how do they know if this specific form is right for them? Who really benefits the most?
That's the key question. Now, it's true that research specifically singling out magnesium malate might be a bit less extensive than for, say, magnesium citrate or glycinate, which are very well studied. But based on its mechanism, that combination of bioavailable magnesium plus the energizing malic acid, it seems particularly well suited for people dealing with specific kinds of issues. Things like chronic fatigue syndrome or CFS,
Right.
fibromyalgia too. Also subclinical depression, that kind of persistent low mood and energy drain.
Yeah.
And definitely brain fog, cognitive fatigue, even that sleep inertia feeling.
Sleep inertia, waking up still feeling tired even after a full night.
Exactly, that frustrating feeling. There was a study, I think in the Journal of Nutritional Medicine, that looked at magnesium malate in fibromyalgia patients. It suggested it could improve their energy metabolism and also reduce some of the pain, which, as you know, is often tied up with both physical and emotional burnout in fibro.
So just to kind of crystallize it for people listening, would you say the sweet spot is really where that mental fog or low mood meets physical fatigue or tension?
I think that's a great way to put it.
Like, if you wake up tired, even after a solid 7 or 8 hours, you feel mentally drained most days, maybe emotionally flat. You carry tension in your neck and shoulders from stress. You struggle for focus, even with caffeine. Especially if you're in a high-pressure job or situation, maybe then Malate is worth a closer look.
That profile fits very well with who seems to benefit most, yes. It really hits that intersection of physical and mental emotional fatigue.
Okay, but then you walk into a health store or look online, and there are, like 10 different kinds of magnesium? How do you choose malate over, say, glycinate or citrate? It can get confusing.
It absolutely can, and they do have different strengths. So magnesium malate, as we've been saying, really excels for brain fog, mental fatigue, low energy, low mood, and it's decent for muscle issues too.
Okay.
Now, if your main problem is sleep or maybe significant anxiety, magnesium glycinate is often a better first choice. It's known for being very calming. Magnesium threonate is another one often mentioned for brain health and potentially sleep, though sometimes pricier.
And citrate. That one seems common.
Citrate is very common, yeah. It's well absorbed, but it's best known for its digestive benefits. It draws water into the intestines, so it has a mild laxative effect. Great if you need that, maybe less ideal if you don't.
Get it.
And then you have forms like magnesium taurate, sometimes paired with glycinate, which seem particularly good for anxiety or panic because they support GABA activity, really helping to relax the nervous system.
So it depends on the primary target.
Absolutely. But if mental energy, clarity, focus, and lifting that low-grade mood are top of your list, magnesium malate is often going to be the most targeted choice.
Right. That makes sense.
Mm.
Okay, let's get practical. If someone thinks, all right, I want to try this, what do they need to know? Dosage, when to take it, that kind of thing.
Okay, so dosage. The general recommendation for elemental magnesium per day is usually somewhere between 200 and 400 milligrams for adults.
Elemental magnesium. That's the key number to look for on the label, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not the total compound weight.
Exactly, because the magnesium malate compound dose will be much higher. A typical capsule or serving might be, say, 1,000 milligrams or even up to 2,500 milligrams of the compound, but that might only provide, 100 to maybe 300 milligrams of actual elemental magnesium. So yeah, always check that elemental amount.
Good tip. And timing.
Because of that connection to malic acid and energy production, it's generally best to take it in the morning or maybe early afternoon.
To get the energy benefit during the day.
Precisely. It's usually not the best one to take right before bed. For some people, it might actually be a bit too stimulating and interfere with sleep, unlike glycinate, for example.
Okay. Morning or early afternoon. What about side effects? Is it generally well tolerated?
It usually is, yes. Very well tolerated for most people.
Mm-hmm.
The main thing, as with most forms of magnesium, if you take too much too soon, can be digestive upset. Usually loose stools or maybe some stomach cramping.
So start low and go slow.
That's always wise. And another good strategy, especially if you're taking a higher dose, is to split it. Take half in the morning, half maybe around lunchtime or early afternoon. That helps maintain steady levels, and it's often gentler on the gut.
And how long before you might notice a difference? Is it immediate or does it take time?
It varies. Some people genuinely report feeling a bit more clarity or less fatigue within a few days. But for many, especially if they're correcting a longer-term deficiency, it might take more like 2 to 4 weeks of consistent daily use to really feel the full benefits build up. It takes time to replenish those cellular stores.
Right. It's not like caffeine. It's more about rebuilding reserves.
Exactly. It's a foundational nutrient.
Something that always fascinates me is how different supplements can work together like a team. Is magnesium malate something that plays well with others? Are there other things that might enhance its effects for mental fatigue?
Oh, absolutely. Synergy is key in nutrition. For supporting mental energy and mood alongside magnesium malate, you could definitely consider B vitamins.
B complex.
Yeah, especially B6, B9, which is folate, and B12. They are critical cofactors for making those neurotransmitters. We talked about serotonin, dopamine.
Okay.
Vitamin D is another big one. So important for mood regulation, inflammation. Many people are low in it.
Sure.
Then you have adaptogens, Things like rhodiola rosea, which is often used specifically for fatigue and focus, and ashwagandha, which is fantastic for building resilience to stress.
Adaptogens help the body cope with stress better.
That's the idea, yeah.
Yeah.
They help modulate the stress response. And finally, don't forget omega-3 fatty acids, crucial for brain health, reducing inflammation. They work well with magnesium.
So quite a few potential teammates there.
Definitely options to explore depending on individual needs.
Okay, so wrapping this up then,
Yeah.
the main takeaway seems to be, if you feel like you're constantly running on empty, you've got that brain fog, maybe feeling emotionally worn down, magnesium malate could really be a significant missing piece.
I think so. Its versatility for hitting both energy production and neurotransmitter balance makes it pretty unique for tackling that blend of stress, burnout, or low-grade depression symptoms.
A really interesting option to consider.
It is. But, and this is crucial, always talk to your doctor or a qualified healthcare professional before starting any new supplement, especially important if you have existing health conditions or you're taking any medications, as magnesium can interact with some drugs.
Absolutely. Essential advice. Always check first.
Always.
So that brings us to the end of this deep dive. But it leaves me thinking, given how powerful these connections are between cellular energy neurotransmitters and how we feel day to day, what other seemingly unrelated areas of your well-being might actually shift if you took a closer look at how your body is fundamentally fueling itself? Something to ponder.
Thanks for tuning in to the Scenario Podcast. Don't forget to visit scenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.